Welcome into Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Mandatory Minicamp starts tomorrow, so I've got 5 things to watch, 5 storylines I'm monitoring for Mandatory Minicamp, which is kind of just the next level in the offseason, right? OTAs are voluntary. Some guys are there. Most guys are there. A few guys aren't. This is mandatory there. Expected to be 100% in attendance. If not, that is considered a holdout, so certainly we'll keep an eye on that if anything like that pops up. Next 3 days, pretty simple, June 4th through 6th. And then the team's off for a while. I think they're going to do that third week of OTAs next week, but it's just going to be like rookies and other young guys. This is kind of the last big threshold of the offseason before training camp in mid-late July. Remember, the Bears training camp's got to start about a week earlier than normal because they're in the Hall of Fame game. Now, what is the number one thing you're hoping for at Bears minicamp? Like, what's the big report you want to hear from, someone with boots on the ground? Like, let me know what you're hoping to hear from Bears minicamp, and I've got 5 things that I'm keeping an eye on. Number one, how does Caleb Williams look? Pretty simple, right? He has progressed already quite a bit, according to Matt Eberflus. He says he's seen the progression, the progress. But now I think we'll get a pretty clearer picture, at least a better picture than we've gotten up to this point. Why is that? Well, for a couple of reasons. One, he's been with the team over a month at this point. He's had his head in the playbook for, damn near 2 months due to that report that he and his QB coach got a lot of the concepts in April to kind of get a head start on. But also, OTAs, A, are voluntary, so guys are in and out. B, only 1 open practice per week at OTA. So we only have clear reporting from 2 of the 6 OTA practices. Mandatory minicamp, guys are going to be there, or media is going to be there all 3 days. So we'll kind of get a better idea of where he's at, where's the offense at, is the offense ahead, is the defense ahead, all of that stuff. But I'm excited to see how he does over the next 3 days. And, if he has a tough day, if he's able to bounce back. You want young players to have that quick memory, bounce back ability, and able to move to the next play the next day, etc. Again, it sounds like he made pretty good progress in OTAs. There was that report from Jeremy Fowler that he and the Bears are putting in overtime, that extra work to get him up to speed as quick as possible when it comes to this new offense. So keep that in mind. Number 2, kind of building off that first point, which unit wins the week, offense or defense? I mean, logic would say, especially if everyone's in attendance, that the defense would have at least the slight advantage. This is a top 10 unit from last year. Could be top 5 this year if things bounce their way. The secondary is very good. That first week of OTAs, the 1 open practice to the media, the defense dominated. Caleb and the offense bounced back in the second open practice last week, but some of the guys in the secondary weren't there. So I would give the defense the edge. But what I want to see is a lot of back and forth, a lot of, hey, the defense did good here, the offense did good there. What I don't want to hear is 3 straight days of the defense dominating and the offense struggling. That would be the worst possible scenario heading into, the 6-7 weeks off before training camp. Would it be the end of the world? No, it's early June. You've got a rookie quarterback. I don't expect him to go out there and dominate for 3 days, but give me a little back and forth action. That would be ideal for Caleb Williams and the Bears to hold their own offensively against, again, a defense that I think is going to be pretty damn good. Now, which unit do you guys believe will win the week? Type O for offense or D for defense? I would guess defense. It's more of a veteran group, 3rd year in the same system. Secondary's grown up together the last couple of years, so I would type D for defense. But as long as it's not 3 dominant days for that group, I think it'll be considered a successful week. All right, check out our sponsor today. That is Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with certain entries right now with Prize Picks. Now that the NBA Finals are here, the perfect time to create a Prize Picks account and get going on daily fantasy sports. If you're not an NBA guy, you got Major League Baseball, WNBA, other sports ongoing as well. You got season-long NFL stat projections also. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get that deposit match up to $100. I, for one, cannot wait for the NBA Finals, and if you're a neutral fan, if you're not a fan of either team, it's even more reason to get going with Prize Picks to get in on the hot and heavy action. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS. This is a 2-player entry I've got. They're offering a special right now. half a point for Jason Tatum, so you take the more. All he has to do is score 1 point. That's a gimme. And then I like this Goblin pick, and what a Goblin pick is where they lower a stat projection. Half an assist for Derek Lively. He had 2 or more assists in every game the Mavericks played against the Timberwolves. So I like him to get at least 1 here. Max you can do on one of these special ones is $25. You can get put down $25 to win about 50 there, just over 2 extra money. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS. Link is going to be in the comments and in the description. Get started with Prize Picks today. We appreciate them for sponsoring today's show. All right, let's get to the next one here. Will Nate Davis practice? OTAs, week 1, day open to the media. Wasn't there. Week 2, open practice to the media. He was there, but he was off to the side, not doing much. It was good to see him there. That's a positive. But, last offseason, he was in and out. He had the personal stuff going on. But he kind of came in with the reputation of a guy that he doesn't, if it's not mandatory, he doesn't do it. He's not a guy that loves to practice. Well, I really hope to see him there at all 3 practices participating, because if not, that's not a great look for a guy 1 year into a 3-year, $30 million contract who hasn't shown that much. And it's why I keep saying I'm going to monitor this situation. Like, if they played a game tomorrow, I would expect him to be the starting right guard. But if they're not pleased with how he's performing, or if they think he's taking a lazy approach or whatever the case may be, and again, I don't know what's going on in that building. I don't know what their attitude is on the subject right now, but I think this week will be telling. If he's there and he practices, hey, no harm, no foul. Probably not a big deal. If he's not, though, I got to think that's going to ruffle some feathers in that building, because I do think the Bears have options at right guard. They could easily start Coleman, Shelton at center, play Ryan Bates over there at right guard. I thought Jatiri Carter held his own last year as well. Karan Amagaji, the rookie tackle out of Yale, played some guard in college once he's healthy, which he's not quite there yet, but once he is, he could get some looks there. Like, I don't think this is just Nate Davis is going to go through the motions and just be given the starting right guard job. I think he's going to have to earn it at least a little bit. He's certainly paid like a starter. They want him to start and play well, but they've got other options if they need to go in a different direction. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. We'll have Bears minicamp coverage every single day this week, and once it wraps up, we'll have minicamp winners and losers. So don't miss out on any of it. Anything notable that emerges from minicamp, we will cover for you. So hit that sub button, turn on notifications. YouTube.com/Bears now. Do not miss out. All right, a couple more here. Which depth wide receivers stand out? I think we all know about the big 3, and yeah, I want to hear about what DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and especially Odunze are doing at minicamp. No question. I'm not glossing over that. But what are the other guys doing? What is Tyler Scott doing? Is he ready to kind of take stranglehold of that wide receiver 4 position? Is Velus Jones heading into year 3 with this team, who's been a big disappointment through his first 2 years? Is he ready to be a part of this offense? Dante Pettis, Colin Johnson, John Jackson III, Caleb Williams' college teammate. He had a nice play at OTAs. Can he make some noise? The pecking order is very unclear after the top 3. Like, as good as this trio is on paper, and many consider it the best in the NFL, the depth is a complete question mark. Like, I like Tyler Scott's talent. Velus Jones is fast, but he doesn't catch the ball well. Tyler Scott had some drop issues last year. Like, we're projecting there for him to kind of break out in year 2. That's going to be interesting. I think it's very much open competition after your top 2 or 3 guys there. Speaking of competition, the center position between Ryan Bates and Coleman Shelton. The pads aren't on, so I don't know how much stock you can put into what happens over the next couple of days. But I'll be curious to see if this kind of rotation continues. Bates and Shelton both got work with the ones during those voluntary OTAs. Does that continue, or does Bates get most of the starting reps? Does Coleman get most of the starting reps? I think it's pretty clear the Bears want Bates to win the job. They traded a 5th-round pick for him 2 years after Ryan Poles signed him to that contract as a restricted free agent, that Buffalo match. So he's had his eyes on this guy for a couple of years. So I do think the Bears want him to start and play. But Shelton is an insurance policy. If Bates isn't up for the job, limited snaps as a center in his career, they could plug Shelton in there. And again, depending on how the Nate Davis thing plays out, Bates could be a candidate to play at right guard as well. So I think that's something to monitor, not only this week, but heading into training camp also. Who do you guys think will be the starting center? Type RB for Ryan Bates or CS for Coleman Shelton. I do think it'll be Bates. I think he'll get the first crack at it, but a lot of factors going into this between now and week 1. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to Chicago Bears Now. Again, we'll have full coverage of Mandatory Minicamp over the next 3 days, so don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.